The mice got me. Yep. Good morning, friends, and welcome to day 25. It is about 10 minutes of 9 in the morning, and I thought I would do my morning greeting this morning from the shelter. I haven't started hiking yet. I am standing here in front of Mollies Ridge Shelter. That's just a big old tarp across the front there, which I'm sure, we're at a pretty high point here, I'm sure on windy days is a great thing to have. I'm all set up over here, ready to go, all packed up. I'll take a quick step inside the tarp and see if the video will show the shelter. Yeah, not bad. It's a double-decker. That's upper deck, lower deck. There actually is a fireplace in this shelter. By and large, it's pretty disgusting, dirty, trash. There's actually a sleeping bag up there, which was kind of creepy when I got here yesterday. Somebody left what looks to be a pretty nice and pretty recent sleeping bag. I did check, by the way, there's no one in there. But these are old, gross, disgusting shelters, but they are, in fact, shelters. I slept right there last night. One thing I am already gonna say I do not like about the Smokies is that you have to stay in the shelters. The only way you can stay outside the shelter is if it's full, in which case you're permitted to pitch a tent. I don't know if they patrol it or ticket people or what, but there's warnings saying no tenting is prohibited, no tenting. You must stay in the shelter, which I prefer to stay in my tent. Again, those are dirty, dusty, damp, dingy, dark shelters. And I've got a nice, beautiful Hyperlight Mountain Gear tent. So, and of course, yesterday was an awful rainy day. So far, I do not like the Smokies at all. Now, today is a beautiful day. I think I'll get some views, and my opinions may change. I am wearing mostly damp, cold, wet clothes today. I do have new dry socks on. That's kind of nice, but I'm sticking them into wet shoes, so kind of defeats the purpose there. But my pants and my shorts and my shirt are all wet. My hoodie and my outer black shirt here are dry, but again, putting them on top of a wet t-shirt. So I'm not very comfortable this morning, but once you get hiking and start sweating, I guess it's all the same. One quick shout out to my friends at Hyperlight Mountain Gear. Mike St. Pierre, if you were here right now, I would give you a big fat kiss. I hiked for 6 hours yesterday in downpour for 6 straight hours. And my Unbound 55 kept everything on the inside bone dry. And that sure was a small silver lining on an awful day yesterday. I do have a lot of dry bags and Hyperlight Mountain Gear pods, waterproof pods, water-resistant pods inside, so I had a second layer of protection, but even those bags were bone dry. The pack kept everything. Now everything on the outside was wet, everything that I didn't have in a dry bag on the outside, so my camp shoes were wet, and just stuff in the pockets were wet, but that's everything on the inside was bone dry. Okay, I am going to get hiking here and see if I can use some body heat to dry my clothes out and warm me up. Going, I can't remember my distance. I think I'm going 12 miles to, can't remember the shelter name, but I'll have that one for you in my next video. But again, about a 12-mile day. For me, 2 big days in a row here, but I wanted to try to knock out some miles early in the Smokies and get ahead of the game here. So, all right, I'm going to get going. See you on down the trail. Good morning again, friends. Welcome back to day 25. Sorry about that. It's about 11:30. As you can see, it's a beautiful day. Reinforcing my conclusion yesterday that it was a bad decision to hike out in the rain, try to get that first chunk of the Smokies behind me, which I did, and I feel pretty good about that, but the consequences, the rain, and what the rain does to your spirit, and putting on cold, damp clothes and wet sneakers in the morning and everything. Just not worth it, especially when you have a choice. Lots of the AT is no choice. Storms come in, or you're in the middle of a 3 or 4 day run and weather comes in and whatever. But I had a choice yesterday. Oh well. One thing I forgot to mention about last night, just a little extra kick in the teeth, if you will. The mice got me. Yep. So I could hear them scurrying around a little bit as I was going to bed. But I woke up in the middle of the night to some clear, plasticky, crunchy noise. Grabbed my headlamp, turned it on, watched a mouse scurry away from my fanny pack, took a look at the fanny pack, and he had chewed right through it. Just chewed a big old hole right in it to get into a bar or something, I don't even remember, on the inside. So that's my fault, leaving something desirable like that. And now I have a fanny pack with a big hole in it. I did a little field repair today, but it's not going to work, so I'm going to have to get a new one. Also, as I was cursing that little mouse, I felt something moving around in my sleeping bag. Yep, one was in my sleeping bag. So I unzipped, kind of threw it open. Oddly enough, I wasn't very panicked. I'm like, it's only a mouse. And sure enough, when I threw back my sleeping bag, this little mouse crawled out. I'm pretty sure he looked right at me, saluted me, gave me a thumbs up. Might have even said, "Hey Manzo, thanks for the warm sleeping bag." I can't remember. And just walked away, calm as can be. And I zipped my sleeping bag up and went back to sleep. So that's shelter life on the trail, which again, as I said this morning, is why I'm not loving the Smokies right now. But anyway. Okay, Derrick Knob Shelter. I couldn't think of that this morning. That's where I'm headed. Derrick Knob Shelter. 12.1 miles total. So back-to-back 12-mile days for me. You know, I may regret it. But got about 9 miles left. I've gone about 3 miles this morning. So I'm going to get on down the trail and check in a little later. Wow. I am in the Smokies, that's for sure. I can tell you, just from where the sun is and where all that fog is, I climbed earlier today up over that mountain, down into the little saddle in between, up to the top of this mountain, along this ridge, down into another little valley or whatever, and then just had a steep climb up to here. And I know that because that whole time, for the whole maybe last 2 hours, I've had the sun to my right and thick clouds to my left. And it literally looks like this bank of clouds, all this is just sitting off to the side of this ridge, and it won't come up and over it. Amazing. I think an even better view is coming here in a second, but I didn't want to miss this one. Wow. All right, see you on down the trail. Found that view. And I am standing on Rocky Top. Someone was telling us a couple of nights ago that this is not the Rocky Top, made famous in song. That Rocky Top, I guess, is a town maybe, or maybe another mountain in Tennessee, north of Knoxville. That's what somebody said. But nevertheless, here in the Smoky Mountains, I am standing on Rocky Top. And a few minutes ago, I took a video and told you those clouds weren't coming up over that ridge. Now they are. So I don't have any view to the west. I only have a view to the east. But it is spectacular. Seems to me, as I look at far out, I am going that way. I don't know what I'm going over or around, but I think I'm going that way. So that would be north. All right, see you on down the trail. Time for 60 years of gratitude. 1972.
Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody. Give us those nice bright colors. Give us the greens of summers. Makes you think all the world. I was taking a trip out to LA, tooling along in my Chevrolet, toking on the number and digging on the radio. Just as I crossed the Mississippi line.
Okay. 60 years of gratitude. 1972. I got two for you today. In 1972, I was in first grade, and I'm actually going to need some help from my friends out there from Lewiston. I was trying to think of all my teachers all the way through high school, which is, of course, a mammoth task. And I'm not 100% sure I've got them right, or got all of them. So hopefully, starting with first grade today, all the way through high school, I'll have some friends commenting on the videos, maybe to correct me. But anyway, first grade. My teacher that I'm recalling was Mrs. Weber. But I don't think she started the year. My recollection is that she may have come in midway through the year. But anyway, I'm starting with Mrs. Weber. Gratitude for Mrs. Weber, my first grade teacher. I liked Pettingill School, as you're going to hear as I go through. I had some amazing teachers. But that's all I'm going to say. My second, I'm on a very, very rocky downhill here, so I'm trying not to fall. My second gratitude is the first of a series of professional athletes, childhood heroes, if you will. And 1972, for me, was Bobby Orr. At this point, he was about midway through his relatively short career. Of course, we were living in Lewiston, Maine, so the Boston Bruins were essentially the local team. We had a NAHL team in Lewiston called the Maine Nordiques, and they were fun. But the Boston Bruins were the closest big time team. And Bobby Orr was my first athlete hero, first in a string of them that I'll mention later, but include Jimmy Connors, Larry Bird, Tom Brady, as I went through my life. But Bobby Orr, the interesting thing about Bobby Orr was to watch the Bruins games. I had to go upstairs into my parents' bedroom where we had a black and white television with rabbit ears on top. And the Bruins came through on channel 38, TV 38, which was a UHF channel. And if you're under the age probably of about 50, maybe 40, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But I had to switch over to UHF, tune it to channel 38, and had to stand next to the television and hold one of the rabbit ears in order to get a very, very staticky, snowy view of the Bruins game. I could hear it just fine. John Pearson, Fred Cusick and John Pearson. But the video was very staticky and snowy if I held the rabbit ears. If I got tired and sat down, I had virtually no picture. I just had to listen. It was like listening to it on the radio. But 1972 was one of the years the Bruins won the Stanley Cup. I think they won it in 70 also, but I wasn't a big fan then. But I remember 1972. Bobby Orr became my hero, and they won the Cup. And that was also a time that my friend Norm and I would sit around and play Simon and Garfunkel music and look through Bruins yearbooks and books about the Bruins and stuff like that. So we became big Bruins fans. And so today my gratitude is for Bobby Orr and the memories and the reminiscences I have from 1972. All right, see you on down the trail.